resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Broadcasting from the Gregory Ricks & Associates Wealth Management Studios, here's D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth! This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I am your host, D Squared. All right, let me lay out the show for you. We got some AI news. We got some Google news. We got some Netflix news. We got Stranger Things going on, and we're gonna spoil Obi-Wan Kenobi for you. And also, Skungy's pick of the week. It's got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in it. But if you missed last week's show with the one and only Rick Springfield joined us last week. Rick frickin' Springfield joins us. So if you missed it, we're going to play that again to wrap up tonight's show. But first, let's do this. And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, so look, topping us off tonight is something that really just stuck in my craw because I'm really excited about Stranger Things coming out this Friday, coming up on July 1st. But Netflix went and did this to us.
Ted Sarandos confirmed that Netflix is speaking with multiple partners to introduce ads to the platform during a panel at the Cannes Lions Advertising Conference, where he received the event's Entertainment Person of the Year award. The streamer in April announced it would offer a cheaper ad-supported tier to customers after a huge subscriber loss and a drop in stocks. He also addressed the controversies surrounding Dave Chappelle and Ricky Gervais, who in their specials upset the trans community. Sarandos said, "Diversity of thought, expression is super important to defend. It's good for culture, it's good for society, not just for the U.S., but everywhere." Michelle Polino, Fox News.
That just seems like an add-on at the end where they're like, yeah, well, you know, Netflix is screwing up all kinds of stuff. Skungy, how you doing over there, buckaroo? How you been, buddy?
Oh, I've been fine. I've been doing well.
You've been in Chicago, you jerk. You've been in Chicago catching baseballs in Wrigley Field. I hate your face, man. Son of a biscuit eater.
I'm sorry.
But
Not
look,
sorry.
Netflix, man, look, this is something that's just really kind of boggled my brain because their CEO, Ted Sarandos, said, "We're adding an ad tier for folks who say, hey, I want a lower price and I'll watch ads." Who the hell ever said that once in their life? Who?
Oh, my God. You know what it is? It's because they're charging it's almost like $20 for Netflix now. And they're like, well,
I'll tell you exactly.
You know,
I'll tell you exactly what it is because I literally went and checked my bank statement before this show started. I crap you not. So I have 3 streaming services, Paramount, Disney, and Netflix. Paramount, I'm paying $5.99 a month. Now, they have ads in there, but a lot of the shows and a lot of their stuff is TV-based. And the cool thing that Paramount does with their ads is the way while I'm watching Star Trek Brave New Worlds, Picard, and all this other cool stuff that they're cranking out for Star Trek, there is a little counter in the top left corner that says how long your commercial break will be. Some are 45 seconds. The longest is only 90 seconds, which gives you enough time to run to the bathroom, take a leak, grab a Coke, and sit your ass back down on the couch. I'm fine with that. Let me know how much time I gotta not look at the TV, and I'm cool. But $5.99 is what I'm paying for that. Now, Disney, I'm paying $7.99. $7.99 a month. And that has no ads. And look, $7.99 a month. I mean, I get the whole, Disney Vault plus all this great stuff that they're cranking out. And we're going to talk about Obi-Wan before the show is over tonight. But that's $7.99. I went and checked my bank statement. Netflix, $21.89. $21.89, man. $21.89, and I've been fuming about this for like a month now when Stranger Things dropped, because I was like, you dirty rotten turds, you actually make me pay another month because they drop it in June and the second half comes in on July 1st, which means I have to pay them another $21.89, and I'm cheap as hell.
But that's the exact reason why they're doing this now, is because they lost so many subscribers. Now, the thing is that you got twofold on this, all right? They started losing subscribers back in January.
Yep.
And the reason why is because the world started opening up again, and people weren't stuck on their couches anymore, and they got out and they started doing stuff. So they weren't watching Netflix all the time. So they're like, oh, God, we're losing subscribers. We need to up the price. So they upped the price, and then they lost even more subscribers, so they started panicking. And now they're like, well, if we give you ads, we'll give it to you cheaper. Can we make you happy then?
I wonder if this is what's going to happen to them.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference.
You think they'll go the way of Blockbuster? I'm just curious, because Blockbuster went the way of Blockbuster because Netflix came out and just beat the pants off of them. But no, look, one of the things that you brought up, I don't 100% believe that, but I know for a fact that there's been an issue with Netflix kind of bringing on way too much. I think they bit off way more than they can chew, because I will say this, Skungy, part of me doesn't want to kick Netflix to the curb because I still have yet to watch Umbrella Academy Season 3, which I'm really...
I started.
Okay, see, like, I'm excited to watch this. I want to watch that. And there's a bunch of other things that they have on there. There's a lot of old movies. There's a lot of Korean shows that they bring out. And not just like Squid's Game, but like there's this series called Sweet Home, which is it's a bunch of people stuck in an apartment building and people start turning into monsters. Just crazy, weird stuff. But they've got a lot of like content there. What was it? The War of the Dead or whatever it was with your boy from Guardians of the Galaxy. The
Land of the Dead. The Zack Snyder?
Yes. That like those. They have a lot of cool content like that. But is it worth $21.89 a month? Because I don't think so, but there's some things that I want to watch. And so I'm stuck here just kind of wondering how much more I got to pay. But here's the thing, Skungy, even if they add ads to the watching of their shows, they are also hemorrhaging cash. Take a listen to this.
Netflix has laid off more employees. The streamer let go roughly 300 staffers overall. They employ 11,000 globally, with the bulk of the jobs lost in the U.S. These job cuts coming just a few weeks after the streamer made an initial round of reductions of similar size in May, with the company trying to adjust for the huge dip in stock value, close to 70% after it lost 200,000 subscribers at the end of the first quarter. To demonstrate the loss, stocks opened Thursday at $180 per share. In January, they were trading north of $600. Competition is the culprit after years of winning the streaming wars.
Michelle
Polino, Fox News.
Thank you, Michelle Polino. The streaming wars. Is this like the franchise wars with Taco Bell and Wendy's and McDonald's and the Burger King? I'm curious.
Welcome to Taco Bell. Enjoy your meal.
Oh, my God. So Netflix is laying off people even more. But look, like I played a cut last week of The Sea Beast, which I was eviscerating. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago before you went on vacation.
It was 2 weeks ago, with the whole How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, it's How to Train Your Dragon, but, on the sea. So, like, they tried to expand out too far. And while the competition is pretty fierce, I mean, Paramount is putting out great heritage type things like, Star Trek, etc. They've got a couple of movies flung in there and some old stuff that they put out there. And of course, Disney Plus, which is just kind of beating the pants off of them right now. I mean, these are the things where I wonder how Netflix survives by putting ads And I mean, I'm waiting for the piranhas to start nipping at them because we've been seeing this whole a la carte menu thing for the past 2 years now, actually longer now. God, Brian was still alive when all this crap was happening because he and I would argue about the whole Cox Cable versus a la carte streaming. And now it's becoming that if I want to keep Netflix and all these other things and Amazon and Hulu and all these other ones, I might as well just go back to Cox Cable because I mean that's where we're at now. It's getting so high, but I think the other streaming services like HBO Max, geez, I forgot about HBO Max. You know, they've got Doctor Who, man. So they are probably going to just take the remains that they're going to loot the corpse of Netflix of all their good stuff and be like, oh, well, look, Netflix, you don't need this anymore. We're going to take this off your hands. I think that's probably what's going to happen because if Netflix is in this tailspin right now that they appear to be in with layoffs and now they want to put ad-supported streaming and I just don't see how they bounce back from this. I think this is probably the swan song of one little old Netflix, man, and it's just like Blockbuster Video.
Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, sure, they were the first one. They came up with the concept, and then other people came along and perfected it. It's just the nature of business. They
are a victim of their own success. I would agree with that strongly. Yeah. All right, but when we come back, though, we are going to talk about Stranger Things because that is something that Netflix has got me by the short and curlies where I need to finish watching this. And we'll find out on the other side of this break how many episodes they got left, how long are said episodes, and what do we think might happen. And of course, we're going to be talking about Obi-Wan and AI, the 3 laws from Asimov. So this is The Week in Geek with D Squared on iHeart Radio. Hey y'all, D Squared here, and I'm joined by a special guest, the Go Forblin, to bring you a special announcement. That's right. Go4 Games, your friendly neighborhood game shop since 2010, is moving to 4953 West Napoleon Avenue in the Napoleon Plaza. Keep up to date with the move and Go4Blin's adventure on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Go4GamesNola and GoForGamesNola.com. What's that? Oh, he says he can't wait for you to see his new pick of location at 4953 West Napoleon Avenue.
There is nothing like quality when working with a business. That's why Banks Media Connections make sure that your work is done with class, professionalism, and style. Social media and marketing, IT work, videos, decals, documents, business cards, resumes, flyers, and presentations. Banks Media Connections has all of your media and clerical needs in mind. Contact me, Malcolm Banks, at 251-287-4854 or reach out to us on Facebook and Google. Banks Media Connections. If you have a need, we can help with speed.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's D Squared. And do you like all things sci-fi and beyond? Go check out scifiction.world. Follow them on Facebook and Twitter at scifiction. They do weekly updates with tons of content, including videos, podcasts, interviews, news, and more. That's scifiction.world. And yes, it really is scifiction.world. I tried it myself. I was expecting a .com, but there's no, just scifiction.world. And follow them on Twitter and Facebook at scifiction. Go do it now. Box tea again? Why don't you try the tea blends from the Viridian Tea Company? They sell blends that are guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With blends like Quantum Mechanics, Caligula's Herbal Nerve Tonic, and Manta Ray Dreaming. Your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop at 432 North Anthony Street or online at Etsy at the Viridian Tea Company. So put down the box and order some tea from the Viridian Tea Company today. Sincerely, your taste buds.
And from the Storm, fanzine highlights Black female characters in comics and sci-fi. The fanzine is for and by Black women, featuring original artwork, interviews, and cultural criticism. As Black women fans, we have unique perspectives that are often silenced and discouraged in mainstream outlets. In From the Storm is a shelter from the storm, a place for Black women to gather, learn, and discuss our Black female nerddom. Find them at infromthestormzine.com or at infromthestorm on Facebook.
D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe at 8228 Oak Street wants to remind you that they are open for business. Tables are available for your next game night. Also, the Adventurers League is still running on Fridays at 7 p.m. and Magic the Gathering drafts are still on Saturdays at 1. So come over and check out their expanded inventory of miniatures and miniature paints, board games, RPGs, and TCGs. Find them on Facebook at D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe or stop by the shop at 8228 Oak Street, just 2 blocks off of Carrollton. Or go to their website at d4cafe.biz.
Now, from the Gregory Ricks and Associates Wealth Management Studios, this is News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Everyone listen! No one quits! This is Casper Van Dien, Johnny Rico from Starship Troopers, and you're listening to the Week in Geek radio show! Come on, you apes! You want to live forever? Kill them all! You know what to do! Service guarantees citizenship!
Welcome back in to the Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I am your host, D Squared. Now, as always, I want to strongly urge you to check out follow us. How does this go again, Skungy? Wait, as always, I want to strongly urge you to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website, or probably not, at twigradio.com. But definitely follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio. The Instagram's The Week in Geek. And there's something else. I'm going to add a TikTok here soon, Skungy, for some ridiculous reason, too. I don't know, but take it away. Where can people listen to the podcast?
Well, if you missed any part of tonight's show, or if you want to hear Dave complain about spending money because he's frugal again,
damn
you
right.
can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and that wonderful iHeart Radio app with the brand new record button.
Exactly. I'm glad you brought that up, Skungy, because the first 3 people to leave us a message will get the brand new 25th anniversary edition, the Blu-ray of Trekkies, because, you know, we just had Denise Crosby on a couple of weeks ago, and it finally came in the mail. I don't know. It's snail mail. What do you want me to do? But if you go to News Talk 99.5 WRNO on your iHeart Radio app, open your app or download the app now. Go to News Talk 99.5 WRNO, and then you will see a little red microphone button. Just tap that little red microphone button, and you can leave a 30-second message. Tell me, just say, hey, dude, I want Trekkies, you know, I'm pretty easy like that. Or just say, hey, dude, shut up, stop complaining about spending money and support local content creators or national creators. I don't care. But the Blu-ray edition, the 25th anniversary edition of Trekkies, you know, where it's like, we know all these people, Skungy. Everybody in this DVD and this Blu-ray, we might not know them personally, but we know a person just like them across the Gulf South. We know them. So there you go. All right, let's get back into it, because even though I'm complaining about how much I have to spend for Netflix, I really, really love me some Stranger Things. And take a listen to this.
I know you're frightened.
Papa, it's Papa.
You're terribly frightened by what you've seen. But I'm not gonna lie to you.
Kate Bush is gonna crack the charts again.
Your friends are not prepared for this fight. Hawkins will fall.
Nuh-uh.
My friends need me.
You're not ready.
Dude, this music sounds awesome. I'm gonna punch something.
He's not going to stop. Not until he's taken everyone.
Let's do it.
But I have this terrible feeling. It might not work out for us this time.
Yes, it will. You're the heroes. Don't be silly. Oh, here comes Vecna.
It's over. Now I just want you to watch.
so Kate Bush just blew up the charts just from that. But man, that remix was pretty freaking dope, man.
Dude, I told you this. I had texted you while I was in Chicago. I'm in Wrigley Field, and Wrigley Field has one of the only stadiums that still has an old school organ in it. They were playing Running Up the Hill on the organ.
Oh my God! You know what? I remember that text. I remember that text, and I'm going, wait, what? It didn't click. Now you had to explain your text to me. Now I get it. There we go. So, well, look. Now here's the crazy part. In this trailer, there's a lot of stuff going on. Before the show, you and I were talking about. I couldn't remember what happened to Hopper and the Karate Kid. Who? Oh my God! I just love this guy's character, man. What is it? Eagle Fang is from Karate Kid, but
he is Eagle Fang.
He is so awesome. But they're in Russia, so I think they've kind of, it ended with them all together, and I think they're going to get out. I don't know how, but I mean, the upside down creatures are pretty much, the Demodogs and the Demogorgons are just eating all the Russian troops right now. So I guess it's easy to slip away during all that mayhem. So I'm assuming they're getting back. But getting back to how many episodes are left, Skungy, there's only 2 episodes left. 2 episodes, 8 and episode 9. 8 is called Papa. 9 is called The Piggyback. But the episode 8, Papa, is 1 hour and 25 minutes. And the final episode 9, is 2 hours and 30 minutes. So it's roughly 4 hours. Yeah. It's
so that's basically 4 episodes of normal television.
Correct. Correct. I guess, this is pre-ads, so they probably didn't make nice little easy breaking points for them. I guess maybe they'll even edit it. Do you think they'll have like a kids tier where it'll be, I'm tired of these Mickey Mouse snakes on this Monday to Friday plane? I don't know, but it's 4 hours. So now here's the thing, though. We're going to kind of spoil some stuff here. Let me get the little sounder ready. If you haven't caught up on Stranger Things, then well, shame on you. But all right, so spoilers for Stranger Things. All right, so we know that they're in Russia. They're probably going to get back. The band is going to get back together. They were, the Hawkins crew were in the Upside Down with my favorite new character, the Dungeon Master who wails on guitar. And I still need to get the Hellfire Club T-shirt, man. Oh my God.
Me too, bro. Me too.
So they have kind of gotten out of the Upside Down, but there's still a lot of strangeness going on because now 11 is back at that facility with Papa, trying to become a superhero again to get her powers back. And sidebar, am I the only one that was totally cool with her bashing that girl's face in with a roller skate? Am I the only one who was just like, that girl got what she was asking for, man? You videotaped her, being assaulted in a skate rink, and then she punches you in the face with a skate. Tit for tat, fair play, man. I don't know.
I completely agree, dude. I mean, especially look, this show, I think the reason this show resonates with us, our generation, is because we were kids in the 80s.
Yeah.
And we got bullied in the 80s too, man.
What are you talking about, man? I was the height of coolness and everything, man. Totally. Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
yeah, absolutely.
Really? Okay.
So moving on from that, though, I never got assaulted at skate country on Chef Mentor Highway, okay? That never happened to me. And that's
the one on Airline, though, you did.
Well, no, that one's still open, so occasionally. But, all right, sidebar. God dang it, Skungy. So the gang is, 11 is back at that Nina, Project Nina or whatever. And during the trailer, you've got troops, moving down the hallway with shields, and they're shooting their M16s. But then there's a scene with 11 up there on the desert, and you can see clearly that little slight, it looks like the entrance to one of the Fallout shelters from Fallout, New Vegas or whatever. It's just a little tiny concrete block with a door and some stairs, but you see this huge fireball come up. So I don't know if she's escaping, but you know, we've seen the SWAT team with Surfer Dude Pizza going, what's going on, man? They drive, you stupid pothead. And so I guess one part of the government's going to attack the other part of the government, and I guess 11's just going to blow them out of Kingdom Come. And I would assume at this point she's got her powers, because then you see her in the Upside Down, and it looks like her and Vecna are facing off. So I'm assuming that this is all going to lead to tying up all the loose ends, and I would assume that this is the final season. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Wait, what, did you say no? Or
No, they're doing one more. No, they're season 5 will be the last season.
Oh my God, no! Why would you tell? See, now I don't want to know that, because that just sounds stupid to me. I'm all excited that this is going to end right here. I'm about to go on a soliloquy right now, and you're telling me they're going to do a season 5?
Yep,
Man.
They're doing a season 5.
How do you?
Well, I mean, we even talked about this. We said that Vecna is the Mind Flayer's general. So once he's done with that, you got to go to the biggest of the big bads.
Man, now I'm just pissed. Man, dadgummit. Well, I don't know. Maybe Erica Sinclair, you know, the little sister. I think I like her character, dude. She's a little badass, man. She's just like, I'm a nerd. I'm good at math. Kiss my ass. I love me some Erica Sinclair. So maybe we'll get her friends.
I love her.
Yeah, and maybe her new gaming group will be over. Because, I mean, look, how long can we feasibly believe that 11 and Will and all these other guys are still teenagers when they're creeping into their 20s and 30s right now, okay? I'm just saying. Yeah, there's a little bit of plausibility, and you know, I can't turn off the fact that it's like, wow, they got gray hair. It's like Harry Potter, you know, 10 years down the road where they're still living there.
Well, let's be honest. The biggest travesty in all of Stranger Things is Will's haircut. Who let them have that haircut? I mean,
well, that's the 80s fault. That really is the 80s fault. So you can't completely blame him. All right, so look, when we come back, we are going to talk about Skungy's Pick of the Week, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and of course, we got to get to the AI stuff, and we got to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Skungy, I just got to say, man, I was right. I was so right, and you were so wrong, and I will remind you and prove it to you and the listeners. This is The Week in Geek with D Squared on iHeart Radio.
Now, from the Gregory Ricks and Associates Wealth Management Studios, this is News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Box tea again? Why don't you try the tea blends from the Viridian Tea Company? They sell blends that are guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With blends like Quantum Mechanics, Caligula's Herbal Nerve Tonic, and Manta Ray Dreaming, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop at 432 North Anthony Street or online at Etsy at the Viridian Tea Company. So put down the box and order some tea from the Viridian Tea Company today. Sincerely, your taste buds.
Pro Se Productions is a leading independent publisher on the cutting edge of new pulp and genre fiction today. At Pro Se Productions, you'll find fiction featuring fast-paced action and adventure, larger-than-life protagonists, over-the-top characters, and tight yet extravagant plots. Pro Se specializes in prose books, anthologies, audiobooks, and more. Go to prose-press.com to find our monthly release schedule and more info about our great titles. Pro Se Productions is your first-rate publisher of new pulp fiction today.
D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe at 8228 Oak Street wants to remind you that they are open for business. Tables are available for your next game night. Also, the Adventurers League is still running on Fridays at 7 p.m. and Magic the Gathering drafts are still on Saturdays at 1. So come over and check out their expanded inventory of miniatures and miniature paints, board games, RPGs, and TCGs. Find them on Facebook at D4 Tabletop Gaming Cafe or stop by the shop at 8228 Oak Street, just 2 blocks off of Carrollton. Or go to their website at d4cafe.biz.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's D Squared. And do you like all things sci-fi and beyond? Go check out scifiction.world. Follow them on Facebook and Twitter at sci-fiction. They do weekly updates with tons of content, including videos, podcasts, interviews, news, and more. That's scifiction.world. And yes, it really is scifiction.world. I tried it myself. I was expecting a .com, but there's no, just scifiction.world. And follow them on Twitter and Facebook at sci-fiction. Go do it now.
Hey, this is Booker T, WWE Hall of Famer, and you're listening to The Weekend Geek on WRNO. Now, can you dig that, sucker?
Welcome back in to The Weekend Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I am your host, D Squared. All right. All right, Skungy, we need to do the top nerd news, and I mean not top nerd news. I'm all flustered right now. Live radio is awesome. I just checked out the little. All right, woosah. If you download that iHeart radio app and go to News Talk 99.5 WRNO, click that little red microphone button, you can leave us a message. Well, during the break, Skungy, I just clicked on it and somebody was singing Jesse's Girl, but it was Starbucks Girl is a friend of mine. I need to listen to this. So tell the people what we're talking about real quick. Here we go.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
I love lamp.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Skungy, what's shaking, bacon? What are we talking about today?
Well, we are other than Starbucks, girl.
This is great. All right, continue.
We are talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. This is... The best way I could describe this game is it is a love letter to the classic beat-em-up genre of the late 80s and early 90s. It's made by a company called Tribute Games. Now, the entire thing about this game is it feels like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles side-scrolling games. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game and the sequel, TMNT Turtles in Time, came out in 1989 and 1991. These were games that I absolutely loved growing up. And so did a lot of other people. I mean, they would sit there and you would go into an arcade and you'd be like, all right, hey guys, they got Turtles. And you go sit there and you'd be on Turtles for hours and hours and hours, spending all of your allowance on these games. This, like I said, is a love letter to that game. It is a side scroller. Beat 'em up, which, like I said, like that and Streets of Rage, Final Fight, which is one of my favorite genres of games. I absolutely love these type of games. This one, it basically just takes everything from those games and refines it and makes it a little bit better. Now, those type of games were meant to take your quarters. That is exactly what they were designed to do.
It took all my money. Yes.
Yeah, that's those type of games back in the day. Arcade games were put into arcade, and you paid a certain amount of money to have that arcade game there, and you wanted to have as many quarters go into the game as you possibly could. So how do you do this? You have a game that's incredibly difficult, where you don't get a lot of power ups, you don't have like a way to protect yourself. You're constantly hit. But it's got an IP that people love, so they keep dumping quarters in it. Well, those days have passed. You don't need to have that mechanic anymore. So they've changed it up a little bit where, number one, you have something like you have a dodge button in this one. So you can dodge away from the attacks. Yeah. Wow. You can spin away and you're a little bit more strategic, and it's not just mashing the X button.
Okay, so you don't have to double tap to do the little like I used to love using Donatello and Raphael, because like you do the little double tap, you just whack them, or you do the little hi-ya and you come down at an angle like Chun-Li and stuff.
Yeah, you do have moves like that, but you have, like, they've added up where it's not just like jump and attack like they did before. You have like power attacks. You hold down the attack button and you charge up for a stronger attack. And while you're charged up, you can get hit and lose power, but it's not going to break it.
Okay.
You have rising attacks, kind of where you can like knock enemies up into the air. And then you also have these super attacks where as you attack enemies, you build up the special meter. And as long as you have a combo going, you build up the meter. Now, if you get hit, the meter goes to 0. But if you get it to the first level of it, it banks that. And then it gives you the ability to use a special, like, screen clearing ability. Now, unlike in a lot of those games back in the day, you could do, like, a special screen clearing thing, but it took part of your health. So you didn't do it a lot. Well, this one, you can use it as much as you want as long as you have it.
Nice. All right.
So the game has 16 levels to it.
Whoa. Okay, that would cost me a lot of money.
It would. Now, I will tell you this game would have cost you a lot of money because but it's okay. There are two different ways to play the game. There's the story mode, which you go through and, it's like, hey, look, we have a story going on and whatnot. And you have lives for every level, and you also upgrade your characters as you go through. You get points, and as you get points, you go through. It's like, all right, Michelangelo, he hit level 1. He's got more health now, or you start every level with an extra life, or you now are able to do this move that you couldn't do before. So that's what happens in story mode, and you can continue if you need to and whatnot. Now, there's arcade mode, which is the hard mode, which is you have limited lives and no continues.
Oh, come on. That's just impossible, though. That's just, man, they better have level up the extra lives all over the damn place.
Well, no, you actually start that with completely leveled up character.
Oh, okay.
So they do it does kind of balance. Now, one of the cool things about it is when you're playing through the story mode, you have this thing called challenges. So it's like finish the level without getting hit, which I've yet to do. Throw so many people in a pit or use this kind of move or whatnot, and you do that and you get points that level up your character a little bit quicker. And also when you're in story mode, you have collectibles that you can find. You find some of the characters that you met throughout the show, like Vern, the Weasley camera guy that was always going against April O'Neil, the frogs, the amphibians. You find them and you do little. You pick up items for them. And so it's all like a bunch of little Easter eggs telling about this great, IP. Now, this game has 6-player co-op, which is so much fun because if everybody remembers that was one of the coolest things about the original arcade game. It was 4 players, so you got to play all the turtles. So you had 3 of your friends, and you went there and you all played you all fought to see who was going to play Donatello because he had the longest reach and he was the easiest one to use. But this one you can play the 4 turtles, but you can also play Splinter, April O'Neil, and Casey Jones.
Oh yeah, good old Casey Jones. I love this action figure too.
Each character is a little bit different. Like Michelangelo has this move that when he kicks people from the top, he can literally kick and keep bouncing off of other people.
Well, he's a skateboarder, of course.
Yeah, like a skateboarder. Leonardo is the only one who has this jumping slash attack. And Donatello can hit people from across the screen because he's got that bow staff.
Yeah.
So everybody's got their own different abilities. And I'm telling you, I sat there and I played this game almost straight through because I just had so much fun. And each character has a different ending. So it kind of gives you the incentive to go back and play with every character.
I dig it. All right, price and platform.
So it is going to be, it's $34.99 and it's on everything.
Yeah.
It's on everything right now. Right now it's only available digital. It doesn't come out in the physical form until July 31st, but you can download it right now and play it. And as always, I'm talking about it all the time. It's available on Game Pass right now.
That's another service I pay for. Sassin', frassin', rackin', frickin' frack. But you know what? I get to play Turtles, so hey, all right, I'm totally cool with that. And I was playing what is it? The old school Wolfenstein. The old, I forgot what it was. But what are the Wolfenstein add-ons or whatever? Side missions.
Oh, the Youngbloods, the New Order.
No, Old Blood. Old Blood is what it was.
Old Blood.
So, okay, all right. Well, I dig that. All right, before we go to break, now, I've been talking about downloading the iHeart Radio app. Go to News Talk 99.5 WRNO. Click that little red microphone button, and you could end up on the radio. Well, Skungy, I had to listen to it, make sure he didn't curse, but this song is immaculate. And Brian Smith, you're getting yourself a Trekkie's 25th anniversary Blu-ray. Just hit it back and then give me your email address and we're gonna get you this. But Skungy, listen to this.
We can geek. Starbuck is a friend. Starbuck is a good friend of mine. I feel so jealous when he brags about his kills. I want a dog fight with the tin cans, but I guess I never will. 'Cause I'm negotiating with the red eyes. And Baltar's gonna betray us, I just know it. I wish that I had Starbucks Patrol. I wish that I had Starbucks Patrol. I want to kill the Silence when they...
We only have 30 seconds, but he called back. It's
yes,
even better.
I just know it. He's plotting against us late at night. I wish that I had Starbucks Patrol. I wish that I had Starbucks Patrol. Yeah. I want to kill the Silence when they attack. Brian Smith for the Weekend Geek. Thank you.
Brian Smith, thank you, sir.
Oh,
that is the greatest thing
Lord.
I've ever heard in my life, dude. That is beyond awesome. Brian, hit us back on the iHeart app, and you're getting a Trekkie's
so much,
25th.
Brian.
Wait, here we go. We'll go out with a Galactica theme. All right, when we come back, man, we got to wrap up tonight's show. We still haven't even gotten to Obi-Wan Kenobi. I might have to do something crazy, Skungy. I might bump Rick Springfield because we did play him last week. But we got so much content. You know what? I'll just reshare the interview again after I host tonight's podcast. So, when we come back, we're spoiling Obi-Wan Kenobi and cockroaches and moon dust. What do they have in common besides living in Skungy's house? We'll find out next, right here on The Week in Geek with D Squared on iHeart Radio.
Listen to WRNO on the iHeartRadio app. Sponsored by Dudley DeVosier Injury Lawyers. Call 504-444-4444. That's 504-444-4444. Non-attorney spokesperson, Chad Dudley, New Orleans.
Hey y'all, D Squared here, and I'm joined by a special guest, the Go Forblin, to bring you a special announcement. That's right. Go 4 Games, your friendly neighborhood game shop since 2010, is moving to 4953 West Napoleon Avenue in the Napoleon Plaza. Keep up to date with the move and Go 4Blin's adventure on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Go 4 Games NOLA and go4gamesnola.com. What's that? Oh, he says he can't wait for you to see his new pick of location at 4953 West Napoleon Avenue.
Mata Hari, Agent H-21 is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H-21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H-21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
There is nothing like quality when working with a business. That's why Banks Media Connections make sure that your work is done with class, professionalism, and style. Social media and marketing, IT work, videos, decals, documents, business cards, resumes, flyers, and presentations. Banks Media Connections has all of your media and clerical needs in mind. Contact me, Malcolm Banks, at 251-287-4854 or reach out to us on Facebook and Google. Banks Media Connections. If you have a need, we can help with speed.
Grand Isle presents the first annual Island Strong Beach Fest, a live music festival on July 15th and 16th, featuring Rockin' Doopsie, Velvet Sky, and more. The first annual Island Strong Beach Fest is a 2-day festival featuring live music, food, craft booths, and various other vendors. All proceeds go to rebuilding Grand Isle's recreational facilities. The festival will take place on July 15th and 16th on the beach across from the Grand Isle Community Center. Get more information at townofgrandisle.com. That's townofgrandisle.com.
This is the Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Like them on Facebook and follow them on Twitter at Twig Radio. Do it now.
Welcome back in to the Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. And, of course, we got our own regular Dr. Demento with Brian Smith, who used the iHeart app and then gave us a little song, Starbucks Patrol. Man, that is awesome. I got to make a promo.
I need a T-shirt that says that.
I wish I had Starbucks Patrol. That is freaking phenomenal. All right, so if you missed... I'm about to keep wanting to say Bruce Springsteen, Rick Springfield, Springfield, but oh my gosh, Skungy. All right, so here's the thing. I'll repost it out there again, but we have to talk about moon dust and cockroaches. What do they have in common? Well, let's find out.
NASA has stopped the auction of some moon dust collected by the crew of Apollo 11, which was later fed to cockroaches by an entomologist at the University of Minnesota.
I was bored.
The space agency claims the dust, which was expected to sell for $400,000, still belongs to the federal government. The dust was fed to the roaches to see if it would kill them. The researcher who conducted the experiment found no example of anything toxic, but never returned the dust. After she died, her daughter sold the dust to a third party who put it up for auction. The auction house is now holding on to the pricey moon dust, saying NASA has to work it all out with that third party. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
I can't...
400,000!
Wait, but wait. So, apparently... The Apollo mission brought back more than 47 pounds of lunar rocks back to Earth. Some was fed to insects, fish, and other small creatures to see if it would kill them. So this was one of several entomologists and professors, that biologists that would, feed moon rocks to animals to see if they had anything toxic in it. But
you have a tummy ache, Mr. Cow?
Now, here's the thing, though. So apparently, the rule of thumb was that NASA would give you this stuff, but then you would have to send back the analysis, destruction, etc. For the leftovers, whatever you had left over, you had to send to them because it was still property of the federal government and NASA. So the lady died. She had all her stuff there, so she obviously never sent it back to NASA. The daughter found it. It's like, cool, moon rocks, let's sell it. So there it goes. Don't eat or sell NASA's moon rocks. They will find you and they will sue your pants off. Now, Obi-Wan Kenobi, here we go. Hold up. So, we are going to spoil the final episode, part 6 of the Obi-Wan miniseries, which probably should have been a movie because they added so much other fluff and stupid crap to it. But this finale was pretty dope, not only because the voice and the imagery of Darth Vader his helmet being cut, and you just see Anakin, Hayden Christensen, and the voice of James Earl Jones and Hayden Christensen going through that modulating thing for his voice was beyond awesome. But I think the biggest thing is, Skungy, I need you to listen to this.
I love the whole thing, but it ruins the original.
No.
I've got to say that.
It doesn't yet.
Last time you met me, you were the master, I was the learner, and it's like, dude.
No, stop.
You
stop.
say that.
Vader says stop, okay? He says stop because the season's not over. The show's not over. What's going to happen? Because Obi-Wan has to find his sack again. So he is going to have to show down with Vader again. And do you think that he's not going to mop the floor with him? His force powers are so rusty, it's an embarrassment. He was a master. Not like Anakin was like, I'm supposed to be a master. He was a master. And he has just been living in a cave for a decade, and he forgot how to do all this stuff. He hasn't even gotten in touch with Qui-Gon Jinn yet. So the whole thing, I was but the learner and you were the master, it doesn't hold yet because the season ain't over, and it's gonna come back around. Obi will kick his ass, and then he'll be back to being the learner. So it's all good, Skungy.
I hope you are.
I know
right.
I'm right.
I really do.
Why do people doubt me? Why do people doubt me? We got 30 seconds. All right. As always, I want to strongly urge people to check out the Facebook page. 30 seconds. Well, we got more time than that now, Skungy. But oh my God, does it feel good to be right, man?
Are you happy?
I am beyond
How
happy.
How long have you been sitting on that? How long have you been waiting for that?
When I saw Obi-Wan kick Darth Vader's ass, I'm just like, God, it's good to be the king. It's good to be the king. I told you back then. I don't know why people doubt me. I mean, he had to whoop his ass. It had to
glad
happen.
You're right, though.
Well, of course, because
I'm glad
fire
you're right.
your ass.
I know. But I tell you what, it wasn't like one thing about it. And I will say, in that whole last scene of like him with the broken helmet.
Yeah.
You could tell that. Well, I gotta say, it's actually been done before.
Oh yeah, with Ahsoka Tano in Star Wars Rebels.
Ahsoka Tano, yeah. So I was like, I was sitting there going like, but it was cool to see it in live action and to see it with Hayden Christensen, and they just did it so well because that fight between Ahsoka and Vader was great. But to see this with Obi-Wan, like you said, being the actual oh my God, it was just so fulfilling.
It's funny. I mean, like they're tying up plot holes that weren't really plot holes. I mean, it's like they're trying to fill in the blanks from stuff, and I just wish they would stop doing that because there was some cool things that they did. But now it's like, I'm sorry, Anakin, for all of it. I didn't mean to. And he's like, you didn't kill me. I killed myself. And it's so funny, too, because like then the memes start popping up. But you said Vader killed my father. That's what he told me, bruh.
That's what he told me.
What do you want me to say, Luke? That's what he told me, bruh. So, but now here is one thing. I have loved Reva, Moses Ingram's character throughout the show. That was utter crap at the end of that episode. I have no idea what her motivation was, what the hell she was trying to do. I don't understand that entire character arc. I mean, really, they let the actress down. They let us down because I was excited about this character, like a legitimate bad guy that had, reasons to really despise the Jedi Order. And then it just turns out she's pissed because Anakin stabbed her. And then now everybody can get stabbed in the stomach with a lightsaber, but if they're angry enough, they can push through it. Yeah, but apparently that's why Qui-Gon died. He got killed the same way, but he wasn't angry enough. So I wish they'd have done better with her character. They did her a disservice.
Oh, they did. And then, you know what? Going on what you just said, the entire thing they were teasing. Well, Liam Neeson's coming back. He was back for 10 seconds.
Oh, my
10
God.
seconds. That's all I got.
Yeah,
I was so angry.
Look, Liam Neeson can go back to his Taken franchise whenever the hell he wants because I still have not forgiven him from the Phantom Menace when people were like, oh, my God, you're in Star Wars. We love you. Be quiet, nerd. Go away. Harrison Ford can get away with it because he's a curmudgeonly old man and he had to deal with it since the 70s. Qui-Gon knew what he was getting into, okay? You knew the fans were nuts and rabid, and that was before, that was Phantom Menace, that was the 3-hour-long trailer that brought us the other two pieces of poop. But whatever, I digress.
That is true. If you look at what Ewan McGregor did in the making of it, he was doing the fight with Maul, and it was like behind the scenes, and he gets knocked off the platform, and you see him fall into the padding and everything,
right.
And he jumps up, and he looks at the camera, and he goes, they asked me if I wanted to be in Star Wars, and I said, F yeah, and jumps right back in.
Look, I mean, that's something that, I saw some things floating around about always keep the high ground because, Vader had the high ground, but then he threw the high ground at him and lost the high ground because he piled him under all those rocks, lost the high ground. But talking about that, Obi-Wan didn't have the high ground. He was hanging on a light pole, in a tunnel and flipped over, Darth Maul and then cut him in half. I mean, that's just crazy talk right there. I mean, just a pot calling the kettle right there. I have the high ground. But look, on the whole, I thought it was a pretty fun, nifty little series. Did we need it? No. The one thing that I thought might bring us a new character out of it would have been, the Reva Moses Ingram's character. That was just not impressive. And then the Underground Railroad for the Jedis, their characters were really just, they were there. They were window dressing. They were nothing more than just like, oh yeah, I'm piloting the ship. Here's a convenient backstory. They killed my wife who was a Jedi. Wah, 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 whatever. The series looked beautiful. It was just a big payoff for one thing. They had a great idea, but it was only one idea. It was like, let's have Obi-Wan and Luke face off again because you know what? The Star Wars fans will pay out the nose for it. Well, you know what? They were right on that. I'm paying $7.99 a month for it, but it's only $7.99, not the $21.83 that freaking Netflix wants to charge me. So, all right, we got to get out of here, buddy.
I agree.
Yeah. So, all right.
I agree.
Next week, I don't know who we got next week. We'll figure it out. Just come back here next week, or definitely, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Weekend Geek. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio and the Instagram's The Weekend Geek. And of course, like you heard Brian Smith singing to us about Starbucks Patrol, download that iHeart Radio app or open up your app, go to News Talk 99.5 WRNO, hit that little red microphone button, leave us a message and your name and your email, and the first, what did I say, 3 people or 4 people? I don't remember. So, the first 3 people.
However many we have.
Right, 25th anniversary. All right, till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
WRNO FM, New Orleans, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart Radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one.